Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome in to the No Sleep readings. How you guys doing? Thank you, Kirsten, for redeeming the first. Hello, V, how you doing? And welcome in. Hi. Hello. What is up, everyone? 'Tis the very spooky night. Well, yesterday was. I love you. I love you too. Right. So, as I might have, if you guys tuned into Kune's stream yesterday, I did say that I would do a no sleep reading again today. It's either gonna be today or Friday. And here we are, it's today. So yeah. I think before I start though, I already have... Alright, so for tonight, I have 3 stories lined up for this stream, so it's probably not gonna be too long, or the stream is not gonna be that long, but yeah, I hope you guys have some snacks, maybe have some drinks on hand, you know. Hope you guys are very comfy right now, under your sheets, or perhaps lying your head on a very soft pillow, as we are gonna, or no, as I'm gonna read for you guys some very spooky no sleep stories. And before I do, let me just you know, chill out for a bit. So how you doing? This is so perfect so I can do my homework, laying my head in your legs. Legaronis. I like some pepperonis. Alright, let me get in a comfortable position. I guess, you know, today is Halloween on the West. But for the Filipinos, it's, I believe, All Souls Day or All Saints Day. So I was like debating, like, is this appropriate? Like, is this okay to do on this day? It just seems kind of weird timing.
Charlie, what you doing up there?
It's Christmas. I wish.
You're not supposed to be in the attic.
I wish it was Christmas.
Don't be a chicken, Molly.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, guys. So how we do this is that we're gonna have around 3 no sleep stories lined up. I picked whatever is the top for this month.
What is it?
And, well, here we are. The stories in question are not too long,
Loud in here.
and they're not too short. I think that, I believe they're in a good length. So yeah, hope you guys are comfy in your, maybe in your couch, in your seat, or on your bed. And this is meant to be like a listening sort of thing, so you know, you don't have to, I don't have to be on your tab or anything. So you can listen to this while you're doing something. Maybe you're doing your homework, maybe you're doing some late night work or whatever. But yeah, hell yeah. Anyways, appreciate y'all. And let's put a bit of ambiance first before I start. I was thinking maybe a bit of a creepy, rainy ambiance, maybe. Yeah, how's that sound? Maybe something like this. Just tell me if you guys can hear it. Maybe up the volume a bit for it. Okay. Alright. Let's see. So I got 3 stories lined up. Let's see what we're gonna pick. Let's pick with this one. This one is pretty short. Let me get a cool one. No problem, no problem. Oops. All right. Let's begin, shall we? Our first story for the night was posted by the user Nom 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 Nation. And the title is "The next bus is not real, do not board." What time is it? I don't know. I did know. It was 11:55 p.m. I lose motivation to talk properly when I'm tired, although this was definitely an overreaction. At most, it would have taken an extra second to tell him the time. But I wasn't really thinking. I just wanted to get home. Ignoring all social interactions, I didn't even look up to see this man's face. He left without saying anything, limping as he walked, leaving me alone at the bus stop, waiting for the final departure of the night. A single minute past midnight was the usual time on the schedule, although it's almost always late, despite only ever having a few passengers at most. My late shift at work had me used to these empty hours of the night. This specific part of town lacked in nightlife entertainment, leaving little reason to be out after dark. The shops were long closed, waiting for the bustling environment of the next morning. Until then, they remained silent. Some had their lights on all night long, spilling echoes of life into an otherwise inactive street. If the rapture occurred with me at this bus stop, it would take a long while for that news to reach me, as I simply continue waiting for an ever later never arriving bus. These are the kind of thoughts I have as I wait in the dark for the bus. The occasional breaks in these thoughts are often caused by me checking the digital sign above me, displaying an estimated time for all upcoming departures. Expecting to see 5 minutes or perhaps a more delayed 10 minutes. I hadn't planned on having to read a whole sentence. So as I finished checking the sign, only then did my mind realize that it had not even seen a number. I had checked the sign but did not comprehend the content. The content. My double take showed me what I had missed. The next bus is not real. Do not board. I stared for a moment before looking around. What I expected to see, I do not know. Perhaps some pranksters giggling at their work, or more sinisterly, a shadowy figure looming over to guide this paranormal event. Nothing. I saw nothing. The same street I had become familiar with had nothing new. It remained empty, with me as its only sign of life. So I waited. It was 11:59 p.m. by this point, so only 2 more minutes remained. On time for what may have been the first time ever, the bus arrived. A single minute past midnight, and here it was, pulling around the corner, approaching the stop. I put my hand out to signal my need to board, feeling relieved that my only way home hadn't been cancelled. As the bus approached, I noticed the dark interior. The headlights were on, but the lights inside were all off. I could not make out whether any passengers were on board, or even who the driver was. Being a regular, I know most of the final route drivers. But this time, it was anybody's guess. I got onto the bus, putting down the same change I always do. Bit dark, isn't it? Nobody replied as the doors closed behind me, and the bus continued its way forward. I smiled awkwardly, despite knowing that the driver could not see me, and found a seat. I never found out whether there were any more passengers, but I can only hope that nobody else had to go through these next events. Almost immediately, I noticed stops being omitted from the route. A turn missed here, a completely wrong turn taken there. A panic set in that I had somehow gotten onto the wrong bus, despite knowing for a fact that the bus I always get is the only local one that runs this late. Convincing myself that an unfortunate series of road closures had occurred, I remained calmed and waited it out. After 10 minutes of this, we had circled back to the stop I had boarded at. In front of us, I noticed a more normal bus, the bus I was supposed to board. The lights were on with a few passengers. It was waiting at the stop. I spoke slightly louder than the rumble of the engine. "Excuse me, can I get off? I'm on the wrong bus." No answer, as we slowly passed the correct bus. I could see the passengers inside all staring ahead. My gaze followed theirs, meeting at an ambulance parked just slightly in front. A small group of paramedics knelt down in the beam of the bus headlight, surrounding a body on the floor. I couldn't make out the body's face as it was just out of sight. Although, one leg looked twisted. The passenger looked distraught, whilst the bus driver stood talking to the paramedics. I stood up. "I need to leave at the next stop," as I spoke. I pressed the bell, and the only sign of any internal light lit up at the front of the bus, stopping. The sign then immediately turned off. Subsequent presses neither made the sound nor lit up the sign. I need to... The bus sped up suddenly, the force pushing me back into my seat as I tried to stand up again. The wheels screeched as we turned a sharp corner without seeming to slow down at all. Again, the force pushed me back down. The speed continued to rise. The wheels on the bus went faster and faster until the outside world became simply a blur. I had never seen a car go this fast, let alone a road vehicle as large as this. I thought for sure that I was going to die. Right there. What are you doing? I found myself yelling out amid the panic. The driver, for the first and last time, spoke. I don't know. My mind raced almost as fast as my body was being thrown about. The world beyond the window soon morphed into a void of black, although the effects of our speed were still evident on my body, as the velocity pushed me in all directions. It felt as though we had somehow gotten even faster, although this may have been the darkness forbidding my eyes of any reference of our true speed. We came to a sudden stop as I fell forward. The fall was violent, but still not as bad as you'd expect for a speed change of that magnitude. My nose hit the floor, causing a great deal of pain. I stood up, holding my face, trying to regain my balance as the dizziness subsided. I began to notice where I was. We were outside my home. The bus stop I get off at is a 5-minute walk from here. Yet, here we are. Directly outside my house. Excuse me. The doors gently open. Despite my desire to leave as fast as possible, I found myself walking to the front of the bus. As I reached the door, I stopped, turning around slowly to face the still shrouded in darkness bus driver. I spoke what I always do. Thank you. I stepped into the pavement outside as the doors closed behind me, followed by the bus driving forward into the darkness. I looked down at my watch. A minute past midnight. That was it. The end. That was a short story. And we got a raid from Cryptid Hazard. Hello, Cryptid. Welcome in. You came at the right time, too. Hi, how you guys doing? Welcome. My name is Muffles, but you can call me Muffy. And tonight, we are gonna read some no sleep stories. I actually just finished one by the time you raided. How you guys doing? Oh yeah, there's not much in here going on, but thank you for giving them a shout out. How you guys doing? How did your what is that game? You're playing that RPG game with the really, you know, graphic depictions in that. Gonna check up on my cat though for a bit. She is giving birth to little kittens right now. Oh, gosh. Congrats to your cat, I mean. Pain and Hunger? What's it called? Something in Hunger. But yeah, hope you guys had a good time. Hello Buku as well. How you doing? Welcome in. Alright, so the first story is about a bus that takes you to your place a little bit too fast. Have you got your cookies? Nah, not yet. You know, the thing about the place where I want to get the cookies from is I have to like, they have limited slots and they do it like a weekly thing. If you know, I Love Cookies. If you're familiar with that page, I've always wanted to try their stuff. Unfortunately, for when they only do it, like they only deliver through like Wednesday and Saturdays. And Wednesday is full, but Saturday is, and there's still some room. And I want to get some. It's called ILY Cookies BN. That's their page. But yeah, if you guys are interested to hearing some no sleep stories, feel free to stay. Hope you guys have your drinks, your snacks. Hope you guys are comfy right now. And we're gonna shortly go on the second story. As always, yes, thank you Cryptid for the raid as well. Appreciate you. Actually, wait, I should probably put the freaking shout out thing. Over here. I think if it works, let me see. Oh wait, that's the other one. And that's a different shout out. Whoops. Alright. But yeah, go check him out. Alright, let's see. Let us move on to the next story, shall we? My throat is getting kind of dry now. That was fast. Okay, let's see. Let's read this one. This one's a long title. God damn. Woohoo! Look at that. Alright. You guys ready to go on to the next one? Oh. Thank you for the sub, Han. 15 months. Thank you so much. Hold on, let me drink water actually. Freaking heck. Yeah, it's a long title. It's like a light novel title. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. The next story for tonight was posted by the user Let's Split Up. If you've recently purchased a new phone, look out for this glitch. If an unknown location repeatedly appears on your GPS, do not follow it. My spouse has been missing for 3 days now. It doesn't make any sense. We have no enemies. Ty wasn't having an affair. We have an open poly relationship, and both of us occasionally have other partners and tell each other when we do. The only new thing in our lives was Ty's phone. Some fancy newfangled Google device with snazzy never-before-seen apps. I'm not all that into gadgets, but Ty wouldn't stop talking my ear off about it in days before it finally arrived. Sleek and gleaming in its little white box. I wouldn't mention the new phone at all, except... well, I have one idea about where my missing spouse might have gone. It happened on the second or third morning after the new phone arrived. I was only half paying attention to Ty's excited babble. Turns black and white at night because it knows what time for me to sleep. Turns black and white at night because it knows that's time for me to sleep. Isn't that smart? And see, I have everything organized so I can find stuff super easy. Here's my transit folder for all my transit apps and... oops. Huh? That's weird. What? The weird part finally piqued my interest. Oh, nothing. Just some sort of glitch. It keeps showing me the same location on my maps. I don't know why. Anyway, look, I saved some restaurant recommendations and you can see which ones are close to us. We ended up going to one of the restaurants Ty recommended later that evening. But funnily enough, the unknown location popped up. The unknown location popped up again on the GPS when we were walking downtown, and again on our way home. Man, Ty groaned. Maybe it's like that location is listed as our home for some reason? Where is it? I asked. I don't know. It just looked like some random building. Oh hey, wanna go there? I slid a sideways look to my beloved. Ty has always been the extrovert in our relationship. Curious, mischievous, partying, gadget-loving. Superficially, we're very similar. In fact, a lot of people assume we're siblings, since we're both Asian and of similar build. We even swap clothes a lot, though I'm generally more goth, while Ty is more Midwest flannel and jeans. But our personalities are polar opposites. I'm a total hermit and strongly prefer the familiar to anything too new. Take my phone for example. Unlike Ty's fancy new thing, mine's a cracked old brick that doesn't even get group texts half the time. Heck, even the regular texts sometimes don't show up. Instead, popping up hours, days, or even weeks late. My birthday's in May, and I've gotten happy birthday messages as late as July. I call these ghost texts. but I'd rather keep my janky old phone than have to learn a new one. Of course, eventually I'll cave, and it'll probably be Ty who gets me my next phone and teaches me how it works. But for now, I'm satisfied with my brick. Anyway, I had no interest in a long walk out of our way to see some unknown location somewhere. So I suggested we grab dessert, then head home and watch some of our shows. Ty's bright eyes dimmed with disappointment, but they relented, and so we spent a cozy evening on the couch with our cats. A couple of days later, around 10 p.m., we exchanged a series of texts that would be our last. Ty, hey, I'll likely be out till late at a union event. Oh, do you need me to pick you up? What time? What time should I come? Ty? No, don't come. I'll find a ride. Probably going to be out till pretty late. You should get some sleep, unless you want to come to the party? Ew, no. Only if you need a ride home. Ty, don't worry, I'm fine. I love you. And then just heart emojis after that. ETA? Me. Ty? ETA? But there were never any more messages. These are the last messages Ty ever wrote to me. And I have read them over and over and over. So what happened? I checked Ty's computer for information about this union event and reached out to a few of their coworkers the next morning, only to have my anxiety skyrocket into panic when I was told there was no union event that night. One of Ty's colleagues, Jessica, asked whether I was sure Ty was being honest with me. Of course, I was. Why wouldn't I be? Why wouldn't I be? But Ty does like to play pranks. They do stuff to mess with me all the time. Little things, like letting me lead us the wrong way when we were out walking. Because Ty has an excellent sense of direction and I don't. Just strolling hand in mine, quietly laughing until I'd finally realized I'd gotten us completely lost. Or, like the time our parking garage was repainted. Ty tracked how many days it would have taken me to notice and would say stuff like, "Hey, is there a spider on the wall?" Dropping the subtle hints. It took me 3 weeks, 6 days. It's true that I live too much in my own head, whereas Ty is very much out in the world and plays too much. Buys too much, works too much, adrift like a balloon that'll float away without a tether. I am the tether. I am the tether. It's how we balance each other. Balanced. These past few days, I've been such a mess. None of our friends know where my spouse is. None of them. Nor any of our family. And yeah, obviously, I contacted the police. They think it's an affair. I told them the same thing. I told Ty's colleague Jessica, why would Ty sneak around? What would be the point when we both date other people anyway? That got some raised eyebrows. And they just told me people have all kinds of reasons to hide things from each other. That maybe I don't know my spouse as well as I thought I did. For those who might be a bit confused, they are in a poly relationship. But our cats, Ty would never leave our cats. Our Maine Coon, Luna, is Ty's baby. Even if Ty would leave me, and I'm not entertaining that idea, we would talk about things first, would communicate. We wouldn't ghost each other. Ty would never leave Luna. None of it makes any sense. And finally, just this evening, I found something. In the pocket of Ty's jeans, a glossy blue phone. Its Maps app open and the GPS showing an unknown location. Why would Ty leave their phone with me? How did they text me from the union event if their phone was here? Or did they return and slip it into the pocket of those jeans sometime while I was out this evening? But why? Why do such a thing? Why leave it for me instead of just calling? I closed out the map and opened the messages, checking to see if Ty had communicated with anyone besides me in recent days. But no, their very last messages were the ones with me. That same series of texts, plus the ones I sent that went unanswered through the night. Ty, are you okay? Please call me. I'm seriously worried. Call me now. Ty, please. Call now. And on, and on, and on. Until my eyes blurred with tears, and I had to stop reading and put the phone down. Finally, I picked it up again, and looked at the maps. That unknown location marked by the GPS. I shivered. Ty, did you go there without me? And now you want me to come? The sight of that dot on the GPS filled me with an irrational terror. Obviously, I had to go, but everything about this felt wrong. Whereas my beloved saw that little blue dot as a curiosity, a mystery to be solved. I looked and saw a warning. Danger. Dread coiled in my belly and squeezed my lungs. Oh, Ty. Where was I when you needed to be tethered back to the earth? I grabbed my bag, shoving my phone and Ty's in there. I messaged my family. It was near midnight, so I didn't expect a response from anyone. But I wouldn't make the mistake of vanishing without informing everyone. Going out alone at this hour was probably not the best idea, and definitely not the kind of thing that Avery, the introvert, usually did. But it didn't matter. Out of my comfort zone, one more time, for Ty. Following the GPS brought me to an apartment building. It was a place I'd never been, and because the map kept rerouting when I got close, the only way I eventually found it was by ditching my car and walking. Even then, the map rerouted one more time, forcing me to walk another 15 minutes on the chilly streets of downtown. And while I'm very familiar with the downtown area, somehow, I wound up on a block I didn't recognize. In front of a building I'd never seen before. Though I did observe, looming in the distance, the bright blue rooftop lights on the office building I used to work in, and the yellow upper floors of the banking building were Thai works, and where we both met more than a decade ago. These landmarks gave me some sense of direction. I sent a pin with the location to the family group text, and then I approached the empty apartment building, dim inside except for a few lights leading to the elevator lobby. Bzzz. I jumped at my phone's vibration. Mom, gotta cancel tomorrow. It was a ghost text from last week, popping up in the family group chat. My heart sank. Some part of me had been secretly hoping that it would be Thai. I tucked my phone into my back pocket and tried the front door, but it was locked. A metal call box hung on the wall to my left. Had Thai come to the same call box 3 nights ago? Suddenly, static spat. Bzzz. Bzzz. Avery? My heart all but stopped. Thai? I gasped. Avery, you're here. Bzzz. Up? Thai, I shouted. Are you okay? Where are you? Can't hear you. Come up to the roof. Abruptly, there was a loud buzz as the apartment door opened, and I rushed into the lobby and to the elevator. Had Thai said roof? I pressed the uppermost floor. The whole way. Questions flooded my mind. Why would Thai be here? How bad their phone gotten to me after they went missing? What happened 3 days ago at almost this exact time as I was heading up right now? But my heart wouldn't listen to my brain's logic. Because Thai was here. Here. Waiting on the roof. They didn't sound scared over the call box, only surprised. Like they were glad I'd come. Like they'd been waiting. Then the elevator doors opened, and I rushed out and through a door marked authorized entry only, but held ajar by a doorstop because coming from beyond were lights and sounds. Up a narrow flight of stairs, I emerged to the roof. Thumping music, dazzling lights, a party. Oh wow. And it was lit. Then Thai was in front of me, pulling me into a hug. Avery, you made it. I didn't think you were coming. Thai? Oh my god. I squeezed him fiercely. All my questions forgotten as I nearly spilled the cup of beer out of their hand. It's been 3 days. How could you? How could you let me worry like this? What? Thai pulled back and examined me, looking bewildered. No, it hasn't. The party just started. No, it's Tuesday. You messaged me on Saturday. Look! I pulled out their phone. Oh, you found my phone. But how did you message me? I can't hear you. Ty shook their head. Music's too loud. Music's too loud. Come on, let's go somewhere quieter and talk. And strange as this all was, my fear evaporated. I'd found Ty, and any explanations we could figure out later. The important thing was that we were together. We wove through the crowd, passing coworkers, Ty greeted with banter and smiles. Again, a prickle of confusion as I peered at their faces through the reverberating music. Hadn't these union people said there was no meeting? Ty laughed when I mentioned Jessica, and said Jessica didn't know about this party. She recently quit their leadership team and hadn't been involved much in events. When Ty guided me toward a ladder leading up to a brightly lit hot tub, in a flash, they'd undressed and scampered up the ladder, weary and scrawny in their plaid boxers. Come on, let's sit in the hot tub. We can talk and look out over the city. I don't have my swim clothes. Quit acting so old. Just strip to your undies and come on. I sighed. This was definitely one of those push-pull moments where I wanted to be a homebody and Ty wanted to be adventurous. Grumbling, I stripped off my jacket and shirt and jeans and gripped the ladder. The cold steel bit into my hands. It was steeper than I imagined, and the stinging wind almost unbearable. With each rung, the air seemed more frigid. By the time I got to the lip of the hot tub, my whole body had numbed. God, it's so fucking cold. Yeah, it's nice and warm in here. Ty was lounging at the far end of the jacuzzi, smiling. I started to climb over the rim, but stopped at the bzz of my phone. I brought it so I could take pictures. Glanced text on screen. No, don't. I'd brought it so I could take pictures. Glance at the text on screen. Ty, no, don't come. In the cold air, my eyes couldn't focus for a second. Oh, a ghost text. I recognize it from the string of messages in our last communication. Sometimes I get repeats. I called to Ty. You just texted and told me not to come. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, let me get you a new phone. And it was so Ty. The way their eyes crinkled. That laughter. So very, very Ty. Warmth flooded my chest, and I readied myself to jump in. Bzzz. Ty. No. Don't come. Again? I don't know what it was about that repeat text, but as the wind sliced me to my bones, I shifted my position back onto the ladder and told Ty through chattering teeth that I wanted to take a pic. Use my phone. It has a better camera. So I did. It was a beautiful picture, but the doubt and dread curdling in my stomach wouldn't settle, so I called. Let me get a selfie too. I couldn't tell you why, but it felt gripped with absolute terror. but I felt gripped with absolute terror. I just wanted to be home, hanging out at our place with popcorn and blankets. But somehow, I knew that wouldn't happen. It would never happen. And I turned around to take a selfie. Only this time, using my janky old phone, and snapped it. The image came out dark. As soon as my finger opened the picture, I became aware of the dreadful silence around me. No sound but the wind. A bitter chill gust that nearly blew me right off that ladder. The night was so dark that I could barely make out my own fingers, numbly gripping the rungs. My phone screen, the only source of light in the world, showed just me, looking a bit scared. My face paled in the flash against the perfect pitch black. There was nothing here. No one here. Just the soft lapping sound of water from below the cold metal rim. I turned on my phone's flashlight. The metal rim beneath my fingers was less rim than lid. I realized there was a lid over the water and a small hatch. A hatch I was about to drop through before I took those pictures. Not a hot tub, a water tank. I shined the phone's light into the darkness. Through the gentle sloshing, pale skin drifted beneath the surface. Wide, unseeing eyes, hair floating around the face like a halo of seaweed. I screamed. When I tried to lead police back to Ty's body in the rooftop water tank, I could find neither the apartment building nor the street it had been on. The selfie I'd taken showed nothing beyond my own pale face. The pinned location I sent to family and friends led to nowhere. And Ty's phone, which I'd kept with me since making my gruesome discovery, had disappeared. Police assumed I was making it all up. There are no apartment buildings in downtown with a water tank. In fact, the type of tank I describe is rare at all in modern buildings, except perhaps overseas. It's been 2 weeks now, and I keep scoring the news for anything about an unidentified body found in an apartment water tower. But Ty's case is still unsolved. I did find one final clue. This morning, a package arrived. A fancy box with a shiny blue phone in it. It's the phone that was supposed to have arrived for Ty weeks ago and matches the order number of the email invoice. So, this new phone? I guess it's kind of like Ty's last gift to me. I already know how to use it because they chattered my ears off about it. And yeah, it turns black and white at night because it's smart and knows that it's time for bed. I love you, Ty. Thanks for one final innovation to take me out of my comfort zone. But I have to admit, I've kept my old janky phone too, because of the ghost texts. I still occasionally get them, mostly not from Ty, because it's been so long. But I did get one recently that made me totally break down in tears. Ty, don't worry, I'm fine. I love you. That was it. That was the story. How was that? At least that sort of ended a bit wholesome. Kinda. Even though it became so dark. How was that story for you guys, huh? Oh, that was alright. And I feel my throat kinda drying up a bit. I guess I never talked this much at all. Kinda weird. Alright, hold up. Before we can get to our last story, I am going to get some water. I'm gonna hydrate a bit. So, be right back, y'all. Be right back. Okay. Alright, hello, I'm back. How you guys doing? Whew, okay. Hey, Venta, how you doing? Welcome to the No Sleep reading. We are back with it, finally. However, a bit of a day late. But, hey. I actually just finished 2 stories a while ago, and we're gonna get onto the last one for the evening. Oh, Calixia, hello, welcome in. I got my cold nuggies, let's go. Alright. Alright, we're gonna get into the last story for tonight, but if you guys want one more, just say so in the chat, I guess. Otherwise, we're gonna end it after this one story. It's actually made by the same OP. It's made by the same OP, actually. It's kind of funny. Hold up. It's another long title. You want one more after this one? Okay, there's one more. Hold on, just gonna type the title. It's another long title. It's from the same oh jeez, from the same user again. There we are. Okay, this is a third story, but we're gonna do one more after this. All right, all right. Hope you guys are comfortable. Hope you guys are comfortable tonight. Hope you got your drinks or your snacks or your blankets to stay warm under. And yeah, here we are. All right, let me take one more sip of water. There's like a bit of there's like a bit of ambiance around here, right? You guys like my library too? All right, here we are. Our third story for tonight came from the same user, Let's Split Up, with my friend texts me every day to come open doors for him, and it's driving me crazy. How do I help him get over his weird hang-up? It is the weirdest thing, and I mean, it's gotten to the point it affects his everyday functioning. It stopped being quirky and become like a debilitating mental health issue, you know? It all started a couple of weeks ago. My friend Tim lets it drop in conversation one day that he thinks he's got a stalker. And of course, I'm like, what? Stalker? And he's like, yeah, there's this figure I keep seeing, kinda far away. And like, out of the corner of my eye, usually followed me here. Kinda far away, and like, out of the corner of my eye usually followed me here. He's deaf, by the way, so he's signing this to me. That's why I typed it out as figure in sign language. You don't really have pronouns. He uses the sign that means someone or something, and uses two fingers to indicate that someone's eyes staring at him from a distance. We're in a coffee shop. I ask him to point out the figure. So he goes outside and looks around and points to the intersection a block down. It being the city during the morning rush, there are people walking around all over. And I'm like, the lady in the red hat? The dude in the Packers jacket? He keeps shaking his head. No. But he's got his eye on something or someone. He tells me to forget it, and we go back inside. And he doesn't mention it again. And when I ask at the end of our meetup if I should be concerned, he waves me off and says all casual, "Nah, it's good." Like he's embarrassed he brought it up. But then a few days later, he video calls me, asking to meet up again, like right now. Can I meet him for dinner? And I've already got plans, but he looks so strung out, so I say sure. We meet at a small diner. He's barely sat down at the table across from me when he says, signing very low so no one can see, even though chances of the babbling people around us knowing sign language are pretty darn low. Look, see the woman outside the window? I look, searching the street outside. There's only the ordinary pedestrian traffic of the late afternoon. I look back at Tim and shrug. His eyes dart to the window, and he describes the woman he sees. Brunette, 30s or 40s, gray sweatshirt and pants. Okay. I look again. Well, there's a woman, curly brown hair with her kid. No. He shakes his head, sighs, and runs his fingers through his hair, then turns and stares. Keeps staring. I lean over to follow his gaze to the window. There's no one there. Hey, I sign. Are you sure you're feeling okay? I've been seeing her every day for 2 weeks. He interrupts, signing quickly now. She started far away, but each day she's getting closer. He moves his hands closer and closer together and adds, I'm worried what happens when his hands touch. Who is she? Have you tried, approaching her? Is she like someone you know? All I can think is it must be a relative. Like, maybe he's hallucinating someone important to him. Tim has a history of depression, has struggled with some form of mental illness throughout most of his life, and spent most of his youth navigating stuff alone or holding it in, because his family is hearing and never bothered to learn sign language. It strikes me to wonder if the woman has ever signed to him, but when I ask if she's hearing or deaf, he shakes his head. I don't know. And tells me he's never met her. Well, not really. But he knows who she is. I snort. It seems like he's being purposely obscure. He claims he knows her, but never met her? I ask him again who she is. He gets more agitated, rubbing his arms and looking over his shoulder. Oh, he says, she's moved. Where? I ask. Door. There's no one at the door. Clearly no one. But he keeps sneaking glances. Looks at me and smiles and gives me that two-fingered motion again of eyes staring and staring, watching him. I ask him if he wants to leave. He says no. She'll just show up wherever he goes. I push my chair out and go to the door. He's watching me with a strange mixture of horror and fascination. I push open the door and step outside and come back in and sit back down with him. I reiterate to him there's no one there. He rubs his palms into his eyes and finally says, Okay. I ask him again how he knows her. This past summer, Tim tells me he and his friends went camping. Old friends he hadn't seen since Gallaudet. One of them knew of a hiking trail with some scenic views, remote enough to be less traveled than the more famous peaks. There's a cabin along the trail, rustic but well built. A log cabin like in a picture on a postcard. The outhouse has a little window in the door and similar log construction. Everyone goes into the cabin, but Tim comes back out to use the outhouse. The stench is bad even from a distance. Tim holds his breath, wondering if he shouldn't just go into the woods instead. But he braves the reek and opens the door, and a cloud of flies burst out, swirling around him in a storm of black wings. And at that moment, the stench hits him like a wave, making his eyes water and his stomach buck as he stumbles away from the outhouse and hurls. When he looks inside, there's a woman sitting on the toilet bench. She's kind of curled in the corner. Gray sweatshirt, gray sweatpants, brown hair draping down around her. What little he can see of her face. Her skin is bloated and splotchy. He gets only a glimpse, and then he rushes to the cabin screaming, bursts in, hands flying. Call police, police now, woman dead, bathroom. Call police now, now, now. And his friends look up from poring over a backpack they found with a wallet and phone and uneaten moldy lunch, and it all so clearly belongs to the corpse in the outhouse. And it's definitely the same woman? I ask him. He nods. The police came over and took away her body, he says. They found no evidence of foul play, and he and his friends were allowed to leave after questioning. He shows me her obituary. She was apparently cremated, and her funeral was a few weeks ago. But it is definitely her, he says. Okay. I think for a minute. Well, you had a really traumatic incident. I mean, that had to be traumatic finding a dead body, so like, maybe what you're seeing is because of like flashbacks from the trauma? You haven't asked me how she died. Oh? How did she die? He tells me she died of dehydration when after a few days. The heat and lack of water killed her. But she could have come out at any time. There was nothing stopping her. No lock on the door, no marks or signs of violence, no animal tracks outside. Nothing. Why would she choose to stay and die? Why? He obviously been torturing himself over this question. Strange. I agree. But I'm much more concerned for Tim's mental health than I am for this woman who decided to end her life in the woods. Tim's obsession with her, his trauma from finding her after her death, has done a number on his already delicate mental state. Do you think your obsession with figuring out why she died might be fueling these visions? I ask him. I mean, regardless if you're seeing her because of trauma or because of some hallucination, it's not like you can change what happened. I think you should see a psychiatrist, see if you can get some meds to kill the hallucination. He chuckles humorlessly. kill a hallucination who's already dead. But he agrees to see a psychiatrist. He seems to be feeling a little restored when we got up to leave. At the door, though, he pauses, his face twisting in anxiety. He waits, letting me go first to open it, and motions me to hold it wide open for him. Only then does he step through. Three days later, I get another message from Tim. He's stuck and begs me to come to his place. When I arrive, his door's ajar, but it feels rude to walk in, so I press the doorbell and watch the lights flash. My phone buzzes. Come on in. Tim greets me the moment I step inside, like he was right there waiting. He's got his bag in hand, tells me he's late. He's gonna be in so much trouble at work. Would I please come with him downstairs? He'll explain later. He ushers me down the staircase and at the front door of the building. He ushers me down the staircase and at the front door of the building draws up sharp, so that I almost bang into him. And he motions me to get the door even though it's partly open and he could easily push it. I fling it wide and he dashes out signing, "Thank you, sorry, I'll explain after work." That evening, he asked me to let him back into his building. And after I let him in, the door is not even locked, the building front door is ajar. He leads me up to his unit and inspects the door. It's closed. His posture visibly relaxes as he unlocks it and invites me in. He unlocks it and invites me in for a beer. Then he admits to me, sheepishly, that he's had a rough few days. Actually, called in sick a couple times because now she's always at the door. Who? I ask. And then at his withering look, oh, but we just came through the door. Yeah. Open doors are fine. Closed doors are fine. But she... Didn't you notice the building door was ajar? He shows the partially open door with his hands, a slight gap between them, and then grips one hand that represents the door with the other. Her fingers were holding it open. I don't know what to say to this. It seems a whole new level of delusion. Tim hands me a beer from the fridge, explaining that she's always at the door now. But he only sees her fingers and sometimes her eyes. So what happens if you open a door? I wonder. He takes a swig of his beer morosely, and then his gaze goes distant. He's focused on something behind me. I turn around. The bedroom door is ajar. I swing back to look at him. Is she there? The bedroom? You see fingers? His eyes meet mine. His face is flat. Deaf people are usually very expressive. Half the grammar is on the face, not the hands. But lately, he's been almost a robot. And then finally, he makes that gesture. 2 fingers pointed at himself, staring and staring. Then he signs FML. I stand, go to the ajar door. Tim pales, eyes rounding, but says nothing. Just takes another sip of his beer and watches me. I push the door, reach up, run my hand down the length of the ajar edge, push it open further, swing it back and forth. Look at him and raise my eyebrows like, see, it's nothing. Nothing's there. He grunts and his eyelids flutter. I don't think he's been sleeping enough. Hey, do you need someone to stay with you? Nah. He waves me off. Go home. So I do. But here's why I'm writing the post. He hasn't gotten better. He keeps asking me to help him when he gets stuck. Once it was at his workplace, other times at his apartment. Last time I was there, I noticed he took off all the doors except the front door to his unit. It's gotten to be utterly debilitating to his life. And the last time I saw him, he kept ranting at me about her, about how it didn't save her. And I didn't understand what he meant. Obviously, no one saved her. She was dead when he found her. No, he burst at me. You don't understand everything she suffered through, and it didn't save her. I can tell he's falling into depression. I'm worried he's gonna quit his job and just stop leaving his apartment and never come out. How do I help my friend? Update. I never actually posted what I wrote above because I felt like maybe I shouldn't bear Tim's troubles to the world, like it's not my story. But I'm sharing it now because he called me this afternoon. Furious. He followed my advice, and the psychiatrist told him to put the doors back on, and if he saw the fingers again, to close his eyes and open the door. That it's a compulsion he needs to gain power over. So he followed the instructions, put all the doors back in his place, and now he's told me he's fucked. He got stuck in his closet. Look, I'll head over and then we'll open the door together, alright? I'll hold your hand while you push. I might have said this a bit too sarcastically, but then while I was heading over, I remembered his last rant to me about her. About how everything she suffered didn't save her. Of course, at the time I thought, duh, you found her rotting. Obviously, she wasn't saved. But while I was abusing to his place, it's when it finally struck me what he really meant. See, the fact he found her body in the corner meant she never opened the door. She chose to die rather than going near that door. But it still got her. And maybe that means there's no way for Tim to escape either. As this revelation hits, a sudden icy panic grips me. Because I'm the one who told him to go see the doctor, and it was all in his head, and to just buck up and open the door. And my heart hammers, 1,000 beats a minute, like a hummingbird, as I try to vid call him. It rings and rings. And finally, the agonizing bus ride ends, and I'm leaping off the bus and rushing into his building and taking the steps 2 at a time. I let myself into his place out of breath, fling open the closet door, Nothing but clothes on hangers, shoe boxes, plastic storage bins, and blankets. I stomp my foot hard on the wooden planks of the hardwood floor to alert him to my arrival. Nothing. Retreat out to the bedroom, bathroom, living room. Stomp again. So hard and loud, the downstairs neighbors are sure to complain. No response. Call his phone. Call and call. Finally, seats light flashing from the closet floor behind the door. And as I lean down to pick it up, when I straighten, I notice that the door, it has swung closed behind me and is now just barely ajar. And there, wrapped around the edges of the closet door, are Tim's fingers. At first, I think it's a prank. Haha, I sign sarcastically, even though he can't see me. And I reach for the door and stop. I'm not sure why I stop. Some instinct. I wait for him to open it, and it's been over an hour. I'm still waiting. I think I'm going to need some help getting out. But then once I do, what do I do next? How do I make sure that Oh god. Tim his hand is still curled around the door, and his index finger just uncurled and curled again, beckoning me closer. Please help me. What should I do? And that's it. That's the story. Whew. It's actually got me some chills, not gonna lie. And it's funny because my door is slightly open as well. Poor Tim, though. Tim got by the door monster. How was that? How was that for the third story, eh? It's a ghost. She's sounding like a Shinigami to me. This is why I don't trust doors. That's why we should remove all the doors in our houses. Otherwise, the door monster wouldn't get us. Wow, okay. I like this one. Whew. It's kind of chills around me. Alright. Did you guys say that you wanted a fourth one? We can do one more, and then that's it. I don't want to get near partly open jars now. Yeah. Otherwise the jar monster's gonna get you. Oh, don't open the door. Alright, hold up. If you guys want one more story, I'll be back. I'm gonna get some water because my throat is getting dry again. Alright? So we're gonna do one more, huh? Alright, hold up. BRB again. I'll be careful of the door monster, don't worry. Little old Tim is not gonna get me. Alright, hello guys. I'm back. Some more water. I think it's the most water I've actually drank within one day. Not gonna lie. Boots and cats. Boots and cats. Alright, you guys said you wanted one more story. Alright, hold on. Let's see. How goes, like, you know, everything here, by the way? Kinda late to ask that, but you know. The creaks of your chair scared me. Sorry. Somehow my mic can still pick that up. Maybe it's loud. Maybe I just need a new chair, you know? Some things never change around here. There are 2 kittens now. Oh, congrats. Did you name them already? It's a feature, yeah. The OGs know. Chair squeaks are always here. Alright. Let's see. Let's read one more. Let's see. Let's see. I actually looked at the top. For this month for the stories. I actually found some crazy titles. I don't know if you guys would agree to it or want it. One is Bukun, the other one's Ikemen. You named one after Bukun Ikemen. That's cute. Cute. Alright, let's see. So I'm looking at like the top stories for or top posts for this month on the No Sleep subreddit. Here's the one that I saw. My entire family is doing their chores without me asking, and I'm freaking the fuck out. The other one is... This one's kind of funny, and I'm curious about it. My girlfriend's dirty talk has gotten darker. She is starting to terrify me. This one's a bit interesting. The other one is, the little girl on the phone thinks I'm her father. I don't feel safe anymore. My wife's obsession with a painting is ruining our lives. And there's a few more that I'm seeing, but I don't know. Let's see. I'll just pick, like, let's see, between the first 4 titles that I mentioned, which one interests you guys the most? Why they are black, white, and orange. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah. So we got like what, 4 more? I'm gonna read out all the 4 titles again. Just tell me which one like piques your interest. So again, my entire family is doing their chores without me asking, and I'm freaking the fuck out. My girlfriend's dirty talk has gotten darker. She is starting to terrify me. The little girl on the phone thinks I'm her father. I don't feel safe anymore. And my wife's obsession with a painting is ruining our lives. So, which one you guys like, huh? Actually, wait. I can actually just make a poll, right? Just make a poll. The second one sounds funny. First one seems relatable. But I'm intrigued with the last one. It sounds like the Pikmin model. The last one I mentioned is the painting, right? Okay. GF's Dirty Talk one. Oh, jeez. Get your ass covered. Get your ass covered. Actually, hold on. How about... Wait. Oh, I don't know how to do it here. Never mind. I'll do it some other time. I'll give you a VIP clicks, yeah. Maybe after this. Oh, just so you know, Calixia is my cousin. So go check her out on her YouTube channel and Twitter and Instagram. She makes cute My Hero Academia fan arts and stuff. Yeah. Shout out. Toot? Oh, that's the first toot. I'm gonna let you in right now. The toot that I have is kind of broken. Like, you know, the paper tongue part is kind of ripped out. So, oh boy. So it's not the same. Oh, and by the way, you know a funny thing? I actually brought the toot when I was in Cosmania. It was just in my bag, and I was kind of hoping someone would mention about it. It was just there, so it might have like ripped because of that. Like, I actually brought the thing with me. So no one redeemed it. No one redeemed it. Alright, so the next one is... Alright, so the next story you guys seem to like or want to hear is my girlfriend's dirty talk has gotten darker. She's starting to terrify me. Oh wow, this is short. And there's no... Okay, so there's no any trigger warning or content warning on the post. So I assume it doesn't, you know, it doesn't get too dark or something. Or it doesn't elicit any, what's the word? Troubling stuff in it. If I knew, I didn't know because we didn't know. Yeah. No. It was just there. Lol. Maybe next time when I visit, you'll see. The maid outfit took my attention. Ayo. Hey. I was gonna actually wear it this Halloween. Or at least just wear it in my house. I don't know. Just for the Halloween spirit. But I need to like kind of straighten it out or something, you know, with a steamer. Cuz it's just rolled up in a bag, so no surprise it's going to be crumpled. All right. Next one. All right, last story. This is going to be so weirdly out of context. Like someone's going to see the thumbnail of my stream and suddenly, what the hell is this guy on? Is he ranting about his relationship or something? But I can guarantee you, I hope they read the title of the stream. Alright. Please. Should I add a space actually below? I'm not sure. think that's fine. All right, last story for the night. Oh God. Oh no, it's gonna be erotica. This is like the after hours part of the bedtime reading. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's get into it, shall we? The last story for the night was posted by Cold Leisure on r/nosleep. The title is "My Girlfriend's Dirty Talk Has Gotten Darker. She is starting to terrify me." My girlfriend Beth Chansey and I are in a long-distance relationship. Free Wi-Fi became our best friends, and whenever we managed to squeeze in time together, it was always full of treasured and personal moments. Although we did make visits to our different towns, it was so infrequent that regular communication via phone was all we had most of the time. I would get off from my job as a bartender at night and call her. She would often wake up, and we would have phone or cams. Oh God. And we would have phone or segs. You guys know the word. I don't need to say it. Some people will never understand the allure of such a dynamic. This has always been one of my favorite kinks. Embarrassing as it may be to admit, something about the sultry tone of my woman's voice as we explored our fantasies tied elements of a relationship together. "What are you wearing?" I asked her one night as I heard her deep exhalations on the other end. "Why aren't you worried?" Wait, what? I ask you, why aren't you naked? Her reiteration of the question sounded so phonetically different from what my ears had heard originally. But I pushed my misunderstanding to the side, and we lost ourselves in the teasing, the flirtation, and the indulgence. "I won't tell anyone," she said, as the noise of her blankets rustling over her naked form smothered me in waves of sound. "What do you mean?" "About what you did, silly." I thought about her words the next day as I mixed drinks and eagerly awaited for my shift to end. I went home and immediately called her. "I'm a bit unsure as to what you meant when we last talked," I said. Oh, I thought you enjoyed it. I don't remember saying anything as much as I moaned." "That part was amazing. No, I meant my secret." "Do you mean our role playing?" Your tone didn't indicate that. Should I feel guilty about something within our world? Our fantasy life? I can tone it down if you want me to. Maybe I've been too forward or aggressive lately. She started laughing for what felt like 10 minutes until she cleared her throat and began speaking again. No, she said. That's not what I intended at all. How about we both get naked and discuss this further? The lizard part of my brain could do nothing but give in. As her gasp, as her gasp of pleasure seemed to fill my body with a near electrical burst, in between the sudden emanations of bliss, she said something that sent a chill through me. You killed that boy at summer camp, she said. 22 years ago. You and your gutter friends thought it would be funny to have him climb the tree since you stole his favorite pair of pants when he was asleep and put them on top of the tree limb. You watched, laughed, and mocked him as he scaled the tree, and then you threw stones at him until he fell off. I know you reflect on it a lot, but it's not what guilt so much as it is the fear that someone will find out about it, or one of those buddies will make mistake and confess to it. I stopped. I wiped the sweat from my brow and chewed on her words. Alarming as they were, she was right. No one but my 3 friends and I knew about it. Or so I thought. For the first time, I hung up on her. I texted all my friends involved in that incident. Do you know Beth? One in Ohio? The question was direct and without any obvious intent. 2 of them responded within a day with the obligatory question marks followed by a no. My mind had created a conspiracy where she had fooled around with some of my friends, but that admittedly did not make any sense. I had never given her the names of any of my childhood pals, let alone introduce her to any of them. So it did not logically add up what she would have. So it did not logically add up that she would have somehow found them. I began to do my research on the victim, the boy who had died at the hands of my social circle. Us. It was something that I was always afraid to look into, for both emotional and pragmatic reasons. I selfishly did not want a cyber trail connecting me to the tragedy. I found out his name by looking up the boy's demise on the encrypted and poached internet of a cafe near my house. What I found left me haunted. The boy's full name was Philip Chansey. That's it. That's the story. Turns out her SO was the one who killed her brother on summer camp. What the fuck? How is this in the top for the month? Like that was like a gotcha moment. God dang. Alright, let's turn that off before anyone might have taken this out of context. That was something to end the night with. The heck? What? Alright. For some reason, I was expecting, like, you know, because of the title, I was expecting her dirty talk might have gotten, like, a little bit stranger or something. Like, oh, you know, oh, baby, stab that guy in the throat as you thrust me or some shit like that. It wasn't like that. Like, I thought they were gonna make some weird, I don't know, snuff film. Okay. Alright. Let's get back into the universe, shall we? Oh, what the heck? Give a shout out, baby. Right. Wow. Guess it didn't become a Degen story. Yeah. Turns out like it was a confession. The girl got him. She got him. She made him confess on the murder of her brother. I was thinking the girl was a killer, but it plot twisted, right? That's how it went. Okay. Thank you for the hydrate as well, Han. Is that thing still there? Okay, there we go. All right. That was alright. That was it. That was the no sleep readings for tonight. Hope you
smell like a baka.
kind of smell like a baka. Scared, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Kinda smell like a baka. Muffles.
Kind of smell. All right. A lot of water. That was a lot of water for one day. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the stories. Hope you enjoyed the readings. I don't know if I'm gonna make this like a annual thing, since I do it like almost every Halloween. But if you guys would want some more no sleep readings, you know, do tell me about it, you know, and I'll do some more. I'll probably make this maybe like a twice a week thing or whatever, or maybe once a month. I don't know about weekly though. Maybe we could do weekly, but no promises. Hello, Dark. Came just in time. Hello, how you doing? How's your day today? Right now I'm just looking at streamers who are up now. How you doing? Welcome in. Should I raid actually? I'm not sure who to raid. Been having a headache all day. Other than that, doing fine. Hope it's not too bad today or anything. Hope it gets better, or maybe should a proper rest is you know. All right. By the way, the bonk didn't play for some reason. I don't know why. Sound alert's not working. I don't know. Maybe I'll not raid anyway. I don't know. I don't know who to raid actually. Not sure. I don't see like. Oh wait, actually. Wait, hold on. Let me see if this person is still streaming, unless they're ending shortly. All right. Maybe you can raid this person. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning in the stream. Hope you enjoyed the spooky stories before bedtime. And this Friday, I'm gonna be playing Yakuza Kiwami 2, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. Also, do tell me if you guys want some more no sleep readings as well. I could probably do it again next week or some other week. But yeah. All right. You can find me in my socials. And today we're gonna be, oh yeah, here's the raid, something, some raid, we're gonna be raiding, Mr. Fac Gaming, okay. We're gonna raid the motherfucker himself. Okay, thank you Calixia for tuning in. Right, this Friday, Yakuza. Next week, I don't know if I have anything scheduled, probably just more of that. But yeah, if you want to know, again, if you want more no sleep readings, you know, just tell me and I can schedule for a day for it, you know. All right, again, thank you again, guys, for tuning in stream. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed the stories. And have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in this vast and beautiful universe. And I'll see you all again on the next stream. All right, bye bye. Have a good night. Have a good rest of the week. And yeah, bye. Sorry, Dark. Ooh, let's go.